All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. NASDAQ is almost at 26,000 this morning. 26K. We are at 25,986. It looks like we're going to break 26,000 this morning. We will see. I'm waiting to see if we move back up to test it. We will see. A little late. Not that late. Kind of late. It's the day before the FOMC meeting. It's a big day. Big week. Government's still shut down. Today's like day 28th. Unfortunately, the government shut down. Still waiting for this thing to resume. And NASDAQ is up, kind of extending yesterday's optimism around potential U.S.-China trade deal. We're heading towards the deadline, though. The deadline is November 1st. The deadline for SNAP benefits is also November 1st. So we are heading towards a couple big deadlines. Again, economic data is muted as of now. Most of it. We had CPI last week. I am in a trade. I'll throw this trade up real quick. I'm not the most optimistic about it, but I want to let it test 26,000. I think we're so close to it that there's probably some edge there. So we take a little bit larger position than normal here. Get out a piece right here. And we'll sit in the last 5, see if we move up there to test it. Again, the FOMC meeting starts today, really. If we take a look at yields, I'm just gonna let this work. I think we're so close to 26,000. Maybe a little early to test it, but yields are back down under 4%. Take a look at yields this morning. They're at 3.97%. There we go. We got a pop. I'm gonna take a little bit more off up here at the top and then sit on the rest for the break of 26. There we go. We got 3 left. If we take a look at rate cut odds ahead of the meeting tomorrow, we're at 98 to 2% likelihood of a cut tomorrow. 98 to 2. Looking at some news. The president's been speaking this morning. U.S. president says Chair Powell will be out in a few months. The president's been speaking all morning. SoFi earnings. Let's take a look. And you know what? One of my trades doing really well is PayPal. SoFi earnings looks like they're out. It looks like SoFi's out with their earnings. I'm also in PayPal as well. Average price in PayPal 68. It's at 81s right now. 81s. But I think SoFi is out actually. SoFi. Yeah, SoFi posted about 20 minutes ago. EPS of 11 cents, beat the 8 cent estimate. Sales of 949, beat the 885. I'll put the SoFi numbers up in chat so you can check them out. Yeah, I'm in this trade right here. I want to see if it moves up. There we go. Take another little piece off up there. I want to see if it moves up to test. 26,000 is right here. And so the reason I jumped in this trade, even though we're close to the top of the day, is because here's 26K. I think that's a big psychological level. I think this level just makes sense to pay attention. But yeah, SoFi numbers are out. Here's SoFi. Up to 31s. I'm in SoFi as well. Yeah, y'all hit that like button. We appreciate it. Government's still shut down. Not looking like any easing signs of that anytime soon. But we're waiting for it to end. NVIDIA, the U.S. President Trump says he's seeing NVIDIA CEO tomorrow on Wednesday. He said, quote, "I want to congratulate NVIDIA's Jensen Huang. I'm meeting with Huang tomorrow." He said Powell will be out in a few months. Chairman is incompetent or a bad guy. All right, so here's the rip up. I'm gonna take a little bit more off. We're basically almost to my profit level here. I love 26,000, and I'm gonna sit on the last one pretty close to this number. Look here, but as we get closer and closer, I'm more likely to cut it. All right, that's pretty good up there. I think I'm gonna take that off and have a really nice, solid early morning trade. All right, there's 26. We just tapped it basically. Psychological level, I think it just makes sense. It's been really easy to make money this week. But yeah, we took like 8 contracts and nice little gain this one. The news about UPS regarding the layoffs, you mean, Pawn? But UPS came out this morning. UPS posted EPS beat, sales beat, and guidance numbers higher than guidance numbers. Yeah. So EPS went all the way to 109 this morning. Crazy. There's 26,000. So we did tap that level. Again, I've already taken profit. We caught the move up to that level, not necessarily looking for the break of it. Yeah, more all-time highs. Kind of crazy. NASDAQ new all-time high is 26,018. So the new all-time high is really right here. The new all-time high up there. But again, 26,000 psychological level. You can kind of see that's exactly where we might reject it. I'm not sure, to be honest. We'll see. Super micro semiconductors. I mean, super micro is just volatile, man. It's too volatile for me to want to buy. I mean, it has a big range, down from $30 all the way up to 66 at the highs this year. Just really volatile. Might be good company long term, but volatile right now. Gold all the way down under 4,000, which, to be honest, I think gold kind of needs this. Gold needs to dump under 4,000. It's too elevated, it's too extended, it's up too much. It needs at least a couple periods of time in which it pulls back. Yeah, Amazon essentially said that they're going to be replacing a lot of their workforce with AI robotics. Not a shock. I mean, this is something that was pretty obvious. But yeah, Amazon gonna be replacing a lot of their workforce with robots. Again, president said meeting with Jensen tomorrow. Want to congratulate. President said I'll get beef prices. Maybe Ranger's doing well. Yeah, he reiterates criticism of Powell. Yeah, Powell is stepping down in May of next year, so got 7 months left. We did have some earnings this morning, though. We had SoFi, United Health posted earnings, 292. Missed revenue, though, for United Health. So United Health did miss revenue. Pretty big miss. SoFi posted. Couple other ones dropping in about 4 minutes. NASDAQ testing that 26,000 again. Again, this is heading into the Yeah, I'm in Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin back up to 115 is basically holding strong right around 115 at least. Mostly flat yesterday, I think. Yeah, but it did gap up a lot on Sunday night, so as long as it can hold these gains, it pulled back a little bit, but not enough to be worrisome, I think. The president just said this morning that he's meeting with Jensen tomorrow. It's probably what this is. So again, the president said he's meeting with Jensen tomorrow. Is the news moving Nvidia stock? Again, Trump said meeting Huang tomorrow. Want to congratulate Jensen Huang. So he's meeting with Nvidia CEO tomorrow, and that's why Nvidia probably. You see all-time highs soon, or are you in a bear crowd? I mean, I think we're close enough to all-time highs where it becomes pretty likely. I mean, all-time highs are right here. Just to put this into perspective, we broke all-time highs yesterday. That's the all-time high in the NASDAQ right there. It's literally right underneath it, right here. That's the range we have to get up to break all-time highs. And that's not a very big range. With Nvidia running and other stocks optimistic. Yeah, stuff's running. Again, not an investment professional. But yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely possible to break all-time highs today. We're close enough to it. Let's ask the poll. Market break all-time highs today. There you go. There's the poll. Or are you talking about crypto? For Bitcoin, I think we could. Bitcoin's a little more unpredictable, but I think we could. I mean, I hope it does. Yeah, I'm looking up the other news here. Again, we've had a bunch of earnings. SoFi, BDPS, and revenue. President's going to be meeting with Jensen tomorrow. He also said Chair Powell will be out in a few months. Tesla European sales were down 18.6% for the year in September, according to ASIA. PayPal, BDPS, and revenue. I'm in PayPal right now as well. PayPal. Love to see it. No, I might actually buy a little bit more T-bill. I think I can. What do I have? I have about 1,000 of them right now. I'll buy 1,000. I got a little bit over 1,000 of this. Nvidia's still pushing up. Nvidia all-time highs are really not that far away either. Nvidia all-time highs are 195.60s, so right in 192.50. So we're pretty close to that as well. I might take a little bit off of PayPal as well. It's kind of a swing trade, and so I think just some of it off just because I can. All right, there we go. Any other dips I can buy? T-bill is a Treasury bill ETF that if I have like extra cash, I'll just stick it in that and it'll pay me roughly 4% in dividend payments monthly. Not 4% monthly, but 4% annualized monthly. So it'll pay me something small, but if I have cash just sitting there and I'm waiting to buy stuff, it'll pay me, I calculated, it'll pay me about a little bit under $200 a month in Treasury bill payments, which is fine. You know, I've got about 1,000 T-bill. Really, I've got over 1,000, so I've got 1,050 T-bill shares. And so math would be 1,050 times roughly 50, which is what it is. Be about 52,000 in buying power, and I make about 4%. I'm gonna make about $2,100 a year from that. Divided by 12 would be about 175 a year, actually. So not bad, a little bit under 200 bucks a month just for letting the cash sit in it. I saved some so I could also, you know, buy stocks as well. I didn't want to put everything in. Oh, it's guaranteed. It just tracks short-term T-bills. Yeah, you can sell whenever you want. Get a monthly dividend. I think it's around. Oh. Generally, T-bill pays you out around the end of the month. Last time was on the 30th. Or no, last time was on the 2nd of October, so they'll probably pay me November 2nd, like early next. S&P GR says banks with AI will lead away from competitors. Y'all see any overextended stocks on the downside this earnings season? Like, I don't really see much like that. Like, I would love to buy up some. Right. All right, guys. Yes, we had a lot of misses in revenue this morning. I'll go through the ones that did actually miss in revenue. This was United Health missed revenue, GLW missed revenue, Royal Caribbean missed revenue, MSCI missed revenue. DR Horton was the only one that I've seen that release this morning that actually missed. Yes. Yeah, we had SoFi, UNH, PayPal, which did good. UPS did really good, even though they're laying some people off. GLW, Royal Caribbean, HSBC, Wayfair, JetBlue, DR Horton. NASDAQ back over 26,000. It's Sherwin-Williams. All right, NASDAQ over 26,000. It looks like we might try to test all-time highs early this morning. Look at Nvidia back up to 192.50s here. Gold still under 4,000. Again, yields back under 4%. Still 98% likely that we're going to cut rates. Here's the odds. 98 to 2% likely. Rate cuts. NASDAQ has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green candles in a row. I don't think there's NAV erosion from it. Pretty sure there's not. I don't know if gold's cooked. It's down under 4,000. Seven-day yield, Robert. You're not going to get 4% in 7 days. You're going to get 4% annualized divided by how many weeks there are in a year. This is just easier because I can manage it with my stock portfolio. Yeah, no, T-bill doesn't have an NAV erosion. If you look at it, like, look at the long-term chart, it's incredibly stable. Right? It's not like some of these other ETFs that are high dividend yielding, but they drop in stock price. Like, that's not gonna, you know, like, it's gonna stay stable. Yeah, the drop that you see here in T-bill is from the dividend payment. Right, so it goes up to here, dividend payment goes through, it goes back down, it goes back up here, another dividend payment goes through, goes back down, slowly comes back up. Like, that's kind of what happens. Viewing long right now, so I'm going to clarify some of these long positions I'm about to mention. I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose. Always make your own assessment. Trade smart. I can't guarantee anything. These are some stocks that I've bought over the last few months. I've mostly taken profit on all of these stocks, right? So in almost all of these stocks, I've taken enough profit to where I'm not going to be red in any of these positions. All right, so I bought Home Depot a couple weeks ago. My average price in Home Depot is $380, but again, I've taken most of the profit off already once it got over 390s. Right, so I bought it at 380 down here. It went up to 395 and I took most of it off, and I'm holding a very small position. I'm also in HIMS still. Average price is about $40 for HIMS. We bought HIMS, must have been way back here. We bought HIMS way back here in September for HIMS. Average price is close to $40. It's not quite there. It's a little bit over 40. but it's right around here is where we bought it. It looked like it was a good buy too, because we got out almost at the low of the last 6 months or so for HIMS. We took a lot of profit when it went up to 65s though, and so we're in a very small position of HIMS. We're in KO, Coca-Cola. Average price of KO is $66. So our average price is somewhere down here, like $66.20. So it's like here somewhere. Again, we've taken a lot of profit off of it. We're in PayPal. We took some profit on PayPal this morning. Average price of PayPal is $68.30. Average price in PayPal is like right here somewhere. Very green. We took a little bit more off. We're in SoFi. I haven't messed with SoFi as much. We've just kind of sat in SoFi. You know, we got in lower and we're just kind of sitting on that. We're also in Target. Average price of Target is 80s, in the 80s. So we got $86 average price, which is still pretty close to the lows. We've taken profit on it on the way up as well, a bunch. We're also in like conventional stuff, but those are kind of the hand-picked stocks that I've been getting involved with. Yeah, I mean, bonds are going to pay out more whenever we're not in a rate cut cycle, but I just kind of buy them as a hedge. You know, so like bonds are going to pay out more when it's not, when yields aren't falling. You know, yields are falling makes bond, you know, those are bond yields. 10-year treasury yields are falling. Yields are falling in general. Bond prices are up. So, I mean, bonds are going to do better in terms of yields and how much they pay out when we're not in a rate cut cycle. Yeah, all good. Again, I'm not an investment professional. I'm certainly not telling you to buy any of these stocks. And again, most of these stocks I bought much lower than where they are now, and I'm just kind of sitting on small pieces now after I've taken profit. You know, I am green on the year trading stocks. Pretty easy to be though this year. Or they adjust the rate every 7 days and not give you that return. Yeah, I get it. Again, for me, it's just simplicity. It's not a lot of money. You know, either way, it's not going to be a lot of money. All right, so we're over 26,000. Let's see if we can actually hold support there. There's Boeing. Boeing's up a little bit in pre-market. Boeing's had some crazy news come out for over the last few years, so it's a little sketchy. It's up on the year, though. It's up nicely on the year. Yeah, I mean, it looks like markets are going to break highs. UNH revenue is a beat. Is it really? When it was missed. Hey, look. Might be right. I don't know. I'm just looking at the source I have. They could always be wrong. Starbucks reportedly sees Boyu as a front runner for China business, according to Bloomberg. In terms of UNH, UNH is actually up a little bit. UNH posted yeah, I guess you're right. Q3 EPS beat and then Q2 revenue or sales slightly beat. Although it depends on, you know, with whether United Health beat or missed. It really depends on what your expectation was for revenue, and expectations vary. It's not like if there's just one expectation. So United Health came close enough to the expectations to where some people are going to have it as a beat, some people are going to have it as a miss, right? Because United Health posted 113.16 billion in sales, but their estimates were like 113.06, so very small margin of difference there for their sales. So if some people had the expectation higher, then they're going to have a slight miss for United Health. But again, it's going to depend on which source. Now, I show one that had it at I showed one that had it at 113.38 billion. But in that context, but it's going to depend on the source. Different analysts have different expectations. Really just, it's reacting well, but I think that's mostly from guidance numbers that were positive. Any new stocks? Fine, new. It really depends on what you consider a new stock. Yeah, tomorrow we got the FOMC decision. Yeah, we're struggling to hold over 26,000. I don't know. I kind of want to short this, but it's kind of shorting a really strong move, so it's a little risky. So Riyadh, the Oracle CEO, says not concerned about AI bubble. Looking at our poll numbers, we also asked the poll. We said, does the market break all-time highs today? 69% say yes, 31% say no. Again, I think Nvidia was driving a lot of this move, but Nvidia is probably going to start slowing down, even though it's pretty close to all-time highs. You can't really expect Nvidia to always break all-time highs. It's getting close. Maybe at the opening bell, we'll get enough strength to pop over those all-time high numbers. And then this evening, we do have a bunch of stuff dropping for earnings. We got like ENPH, Visa, Seagate, Booking, Cheesecake Factory, and more. Nothing big enough for me to stream, to be honest, but probably worth watching. Tomorrow morning, we got Verizon, Boeing, CVS. And again, if you want to see a full list of these earnings, there's a list right there. You can check it out. Give me a follow on X. We kind of post a full list. With any big earnings day, we post a full list. Yeah, so I saw the Honeywell news about new innovative tech that produces low-cost, high-quality renewable fuels for biomass. I did see that. Again, no progress towards ending the shutdown. The Senate reconvened yesterday, but did not vote on funding. It's still a stalemate over clean versus conditioned CR, and the House of Reps is still in recess. Again, this Friday is the deadline. I think it's Saturday, actually, but this Saturday or Friday is the deadline for when SNAP, which is food stamp benefits, are set to be cut off for 42 million recipients, which is the key pressure point on Congress to act. And again, I said it yesterday. I think it's both sides at this point in time. Both sides are being stubborn. I'm not super political or partisan, guys. And again, I get it. You guys might root for one side. Just respect the fact that I'm neutral. And I really do think it's both sides. I think one side continues to vote against a clean CR, and the other side refuses to really work, like get together and negotiate cleanly, you know. And so I think it's kind of both sides at this point in time. I'm not really optimistic this is going to get done anytime soon, although I'd love it to get done soon. I just don't think it will. Again, we got big tech earnings this week, so Wednesday and Thursday, tomorrow and Thursday, we got big tech earnings. We got Google. Tomorrow we have a whole bunch of stuff. We have Meta, Microsoft, Google, Carvana, Chipotle, Starbucks, eBay, and more in the evening. So that's going to be the biggest one. Meta, Microsoft, Alphabet, Google. Pretty big. We'll see what that looks like. Yeah, it's 42 million. I don't know, man. Like, I think there's some people that need those benefits, and regardless of, you know, how or why they're on it, I think getting cut off from those benefits abruptly is not good. You know, gold back under 4,000. At the same time, though, gold's close enough to 4K to where, you know, gold's pulled back significantly, but it's still close enough to that big milestone level. that's not a lot. Percentages. So if there's 300 plus million, what, there's like 320, 330 million here. And 42 out of that 330 is that is 13% of people in the United States. That's a big percentage. 13% of people in the US, that's a big percentage. Not small. All right, so the president just said that Japan is investing 550 billion into the US. 550 billion. Yeah, but it's not about how many people are on it. That's a different conversation. You know, it's more so about, I think most people can agree here that at least some of those people need it, like desperately. And if they do, getting abruptly cut off is not good, and both sides should work together, get a deal done. I'm not optimistic about it. I hope we get one done by the end of the week. But again, I'm not super optimistic. NASDAQ going completely sideways here. Gold is edging a little higher, though, this morning. Yeah, going back down under 20,000. UNH, I wouldn't say, in hindsight, I wouldn't say they missed. I think they beat EPS, and they were essentially flat for revenue. Right, but I think they had good guidance, and that's why they're up. My source showed a miss because my source showed they expected for United Health. My side showed they expected for revenue 113.38 billion, and they only posted 113.16 billion. But again, the revenue with United Health was close enough to expectations to where some people are going to have it as a miss for revenue, some people are going to have it as a beat. But regardless of that, UNH beat EPS and had good guidance numbers, and now they're up. So, yeah, Visa. I'm watching Visa. Yeah, SoFi's out. SoFi beat EPS in revenue, and it's gapping up some, I think, from it if we look at SoFi. Again, I'm watching NVIDIA a lot this morning. There's SoFi. We've already gotten to a couple trades. We attacked 26,000 level down here. If you guys remember early this morning, like as soon as we started up the stream, we were in riding that up. I don't think we have any economic data. I think we have something. We got CB consumer confidence data today, actually, and the Case-Shiller house price index at 9 a.m. So we got some stuff going on at 9 a.m. I don't know if the Case-Shiller's coming out. I know CB consumer confidence is. Yeah, I missed the economic data days because, like, listen, if we would have had economic data this week, just to put this into perspective, right? If we would have had economic data, and I'm pretty sure PCE inflation's not coming out. Let me make sure. Yeah, to end the government shutdown, the right could use the nuclear option, which is where they essentially change the amount of votes you need. To a simple majority, and that could end it. I don't think they're gonna do it, but it's never been used for major legislations though, like these appropriation bills and stuff. Like, it's never been used for that, so they might get some heat for it if they do. I'm gonna ask AI something. Look at the NASDAQ breakdown here. Again, we tapped 26,000. 26,018 is the all-time high on the NASDAQ here. What was I gonna search here? Oh yeah. Yeah, if we didn't have the government shutdown this week, we would have gotten a whole bunch of stuff. Like, we already got a bunch of stuff. We got the Fed meeting tomorrow. We got Apple, Amazon, Meta earnings, or Apple, Meta, Google earnings tomorrow. And Thursday we have Apple. Tomorrow we have Google, Meta, Microsoft. But yeah, PC inflation would have come out this week already, as well with GDP. Yeah, PCE is usually released by the Bureau of Economic Analysis. It's part of the Department of Commerce and is shut down. So if the government wasn't shut down today, we would be getting GDP from Thursday, jobless claims Thursday, PCE inflation Friday, and more. Next week we'd get the labor report on the 7th, which is not looking like it's coming out. We do get the ADP non-farm employment change next week though, so we got something, and I think we might get JOLTS jobs as well. So next week we got some stuff coming out, but it's not the extent of what we would have. ADP non-farm employment change. They have it scheduled for 8:15. Generally it comes out at 8, or they have it scheduled for 8:30 next week, but usually it comes out at 8:15. I wonder if they're doing that just because the government shut down. Yeah, so UNH did well. It kind of was flat revenue-wise, BDPS, but good guidance numbers, and so UNH is up. Again, UPS killed it, man. They're up to $100 a share. There's NVIDIA, and I don't really like UPS either as a company. Like, I'm not really a big investor into UPS. I use a bunch of different ones, to be honest, especially in terms of the shutdown. Hey, what's up, Chef? Yeah, I was hoping we get JOLTS, but JOLTS is done by the Bureau of Labor Statistics as well, so we're not going to get JOLTS either. Unfortunately, there's UPS hitting $100 a share. NVIDIA up to 193s almost. 192.60s just broke highs of the day again. NVIDIA is very close to all-time highs. Yeah, NVIDIA's up because the president's meeting with Jensen tomorrow. Yeah, NVIDIA pushing up. We had Mexican unemployment rate show up at 2.98%. The offer rate for yesterday show up at 4.27 versus 4.24 the previous day. Yeah, so the Oracle CEO is still speaking. They said there's real value in AI and demand far outpaces supply. Again, the president said Japan is investing $550 billion into the U.S. Goldman Sachs lift 2026 iron ore price forecast at 93 trillion, or 93T, maintains bearish outlook and expects iron ore price to decline to 88T by Q4 of next year. Where's oil at this morning? Oil is back down to 60. We don't have any economic data, unfortunately. So the economic data is light for today. Tomorrow is when the big day is, to be honest. Okay, government shutdown day 28. Let's look at the odds for when this thing's going to resume. I'm still waiting for some trades. I don't really see anything I like necessarily here. Looking scary. So 40 days is priced in now. The average time for the government shutdown would be 43.6 days, which basically means most people expect it to end sometime in November. Really in about 2 weeks. We got about two to 3 weeks, they think, more of the shutdown before it ends. I hope they're wrong, but you never know. Nvidia is at all-time highs, really. So it's pretty close to all-time highs. I mean, look at this chart for Nvidia. Nvidia's flown up here. Hey, look. Nvidia wants $200 a share, I think. I think that's one of the things that we're going to see a test of pretty soon is $200 a share on Nvidia. I might be wrong, but I think Nvidia wants $200 a share, probably. CTAS. Been downtrending since June. Flat on the year. But I don't necessarily hate it either, to be honest. Just I don't know anything about the company though, so I'm not gonna buy it. But yeah. Like, I'm not gonna buy it because I don't know anything about the company. But in terms of what I look for in terms of technicals, it doesn't look terrible. Not an investment professional though. Yeah, how about that World Series game, though? UNH is flying up right now. Look at UNH. Hold on. I just accidentally messed with. There we go. Let me know if that's better. I forgot how much I turned this up. I think I had it at 6 for my mic. My mic volume should have just dropped, but I'm turning it back up now. There we go. All right. UNH hitting 26,000, or Nasdaq hitting 26,000. UNH pushing up. Cisco just posted earnings. SY Cisco. The Dodgers. Barely. I mean, I like Shohei Ohtani. I like Freddie Freeman, but I'm rooting for the Jays. I want to see Vlad win, you know. All right, Nasdaq's getting back up there. Here's 26,000, big whole dollar psychological number. It's been a really good week for day trading too. Like, I've made a really solid amount the last few weeks. Like the account that you're now looking at, I'll show you guys some of my stats here. Here's the week so far on this account that you're looking at. We've had 1 losing day out of 4. Pretty good. Here's a different account. Again, we've had 3 for 3 winning days on this one. Here's a different account. This one we've went 2 for 3. These are all funded accounts, and then the last one, yeah, and then the last one we went 3 for 3 as well. So green week in every funded account we have. Pretty solid. Yeah, 18 innings, man. What a crazy game. Wild. All right, guys. So PayPal's starting to push back up here. We're still in PayPal. NASDAQ rejecting again at 26,000. We're really starting to slow down. We're not really doing much here. We've had some big earnings come out. We got earnings tomorrow for sure. We got the Fed meeting tomorrow as well, but it's been slower. You calm? Yeah, I mean, I might trade. I just gotta wait a little while. Like, we're not really seeing much here. Where's AMD at? AMD at still almost at 260s. AMD's still doing really well. Again, Nvidia's been pushing up a lot. Nvidia made this rip up after the president said he's meeting with Jensen Huang tomorrow. Congratulate him, is what he said. And now Nvidia's been breaking highs. Pre-market highs at least. Getting close to all-time highs up here, so I think that's a dynamic I'm watching. You can, if you look at this middle chart right here, this is the Nvidia all-time high right there. So we're not that far away. Just over 195. Gold again under 4,000. UPS is ripping up on news. Adobe introduces new AI assistant in Adobe Express. If you guys see any cheap stocks to buy, let me know. I don't really see anything I necessarily like, but yeah, so United Health sees return to double-digit growth in 2027. That's one of the reasons it's ripping up. NASDAQ back over 26K. PayPal just broke highs again. NASDAQ. Here's all-time highs. Again, all-time highs are right here. This is all-time highs. 26,018. The all-time high on the NQ. All-time high on the SPY, if we take a look at it. 685.54. We're at 685.20. Oh. And NASDAQ, really, the SPY's over all-time highs is at 685.96. So 86.10 is the all-time high in the SPY and pre-market. So pretty close to that. NASDAQ back over some of these levels, just broke highs at the high of the day again. NASDAQ's pushing up again. All-time high on the NQ, this level right here, 26,018. Very close to that. Yeah, UPS over 100. Yeah, I love Ohtani. Ohtani's great. Probably one of the best to ever do it. The Dodgers got such a stacked team, though. It's hard to, it's hard to lose if you're the Dodgers. You just got so many good people. You got Mookie Betts. You got Ohtani. You got Freddie Freeman. Hard to lose. I love the smell at all-time highs in the morning. Yeah, Tesla did because its European sales came in it was like 17% less than expected for Tesla, but still green on the day. Nasdaq's getting close to all-time highs. Again, a lot of this is driven by Nvidia. Adobe and YouTube announced partnership. Creators can access premier mobile capabilities from experts. Again, SoFi is going to launch Bitcoin and crypto trading for this year on SoFi. They're going to be doing Bitcoin and crypto trading. USAR back up. Nah, USAR got dumped on at $21 for Earth Company. It's going down because of the China easing stuff. That's what this is. Yeah, I'm looking for some cheap stuff, but it's hard to find. Kraft Heinz. I don't really like Kraft Heinz stock at all. This thing's been downtrending really since 2017. That's too long. Personally, for me, I just don't want to buy it if it's been downtrending, you know, for 7 years, 8 years. I'm good. Did it top 26,000? I don't know. I have to look. Where do you see it top 26,000? Nasdaq. I'm showing in both here. Oh yeah, you're right. We did have a candle wick up there. 26. I don't know. I'll look at both these levels. It depends on where you look, right? Like if I look at TOS. TOS has it at 1875. So TOS doesn't have that candle wick popping up. So we'll look at both of them. It could be either one of them. It's slight differences in data. I'll look at both these, 26 and 18. We're still pushing up though, both of these. Oh, these are both Nasdaqs. Yeah, it could be the mini. Let me see. Could be subtle differences between the NQ and the mini. Yeah, you're right. It's subtle differences between the regular Nasdaq and the mini. This is. Yeah, we talked about UNH beating EPS, flat revenue, good guidance numbers, and it propelling higher. At 385s right now. Nasdaq technically green on the day too. The previous closing price is probably a level we should make. It's at 26,000 and this is the previous close. This level right here, so this might be like a support level. All right, guys. If the Nasdaq has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 green candles in a row, or 8 green candles. Coffee prices have surged over 25%. Again, PayPal BDPS and revenue. FOMC meeting tomorrow is pretty big though. I think even Buffett was like, I'm out on the ketchup company. Yeah, I mean, Kraft Heinz, you know, I think almost everybody, you know, uses their ketchup. But, you know, how much scalability can there be for Kraft Heinz from where they're at now is the question. And I don't know how much they can really scale from here. I still think they're going to be successful, but like, I don't know how much they're going to scale. From where they are now, they're already huge. All right, Nasdaq, look at this pop. It could be Nvidia related, look. Here's the SPY. Yeah, look at Nvidia. Nvidia up to 193.50s. The Nasdaq is getting up there here. Again, the all-time high, depending on which one you look at, mini is at about 18. Or the micro is about 18. The mini's at about 26. So we're up there. The known bear market any day soon. I mean, we could get one any day, but we're not in one now. Market's breaking all-time highs mostly today. Guys already once early this morning. We're pretty close to that level now. We're over 26,000, a big psychological level. So we're up there. All right, there's the push. Getting closer. 6,008, almost here. ADP reports prelim estimate of jobs 4-week ending October 11th. ADP will continue to report jobs report and pay insights monthly. Okay, so they said ADP preliminary U.S. estimates an average increase of 14,250 jobs. Again, ADP prelim U.S. estimate of an average increase of 14,250 jobs. So this is big news. At least they're reporting theirs. But I think we get ADP next week, but these are the expected or estimates. So yeah, we get the actual ADP numbers next week. That's something we're seeing. Look at the Nasdaq, just broke all-time highs. Could be on this ADP number. I don't think it is, but it could be. Again, preliminary U.S. estimate of an average increase of 14,250 jobs in the 4-week period ending October 11th. Again, we haven't gotten the labor report. Nasdaq just ripped over 26,030. New highs on the micro, at least, are at 26,033. On the regular Nasdaq, 26,025. The new all-time high, I think. Yeah, 26,025, new all-time high on the NQ. Yeah, well, Nvidia, the president's supposed to meet with Nvidia CEO tomorrow. That's one of the things causing some. Broke all-time highs again here. Let's see if we hold. There's a little bit of a pullback. You guys red or green so far today? I think it's been pretty easy to get some of these high level longs up here. I think it's been easier. We might trade a little bit more. Let's try. I could buy this dip. I think it dip's a little risky, but I think we're close enough to all-time highs to make it worth it. Yeah, I'll put these numbers scrolling at the bottom of the screen now. You can see the ADP prelim numbers. This dip worth it. Everybody's so bullish that makes me bearish. Yeah, sometimes that can work. Sometimes it doesn't though. Sometimes we just in that direction. Like I've always said, like in markets you have to understand what goes up doesn't always have to come back down. Right? All right, we're gonna add to this now, maybe. Like what goes up doesn't always have to come back down in markets. We just jumped in a little bit here. I have to fix. Go. I'll buy this and wait. Company remains optimistic about the long-term demand for iron ore. Yeah, we're in this right now. It's kind of rejecting at that 18 level that we have on our charts here, though. Again, we don't have any economic data today. I think we have CB consumer confidence, which is something, right? I don't know how much it's going to move markets, but it's something. At 10 o'clock today, though, for CB confidence. It's not 8:30. Nice. Kind of slowly scaling out up here. Yeah, I think the SoFi earnings call is actually going on right now. I'm in SoFi. Look at SoFi rip up here too. I'll be feeding the Bears tomorrow. Bulls will get caught with their pants down. Ugh, maybe. Yeah, I'm in SoFi right now. I hope SoFi goes up. Sitting in it. All right, so U.S. Transport Secretary Duffy says we will slow down air traffic. I'm assuming because of the shutdown. Okay, so what I'm seeing now, so hold on, let me I'm in this trade here. I'd love to see it. I could add to this, or I could just sit on it longer. I think I'm just gonna cut it. I'll try to add to it. We'll go ahead and bring and try to add to it. I think we got a good enough support level. Hey, dude. How you doing, bro? All right, man. Love you, dude. Have a good day, bud. All right, so we added to this position. Love you, bud. All right, so I added to this position. I can cut it if it starts to really break down. That's okay. We already took some profit, so we got a little room. I'm hoping it holds support at that 18 level and continues back up. Yeah, I'm trying to look at the ADP data. I mean, this might be actually good news for me. It just depends on when they release it. There we go. Like the ad was a good move. There we go. Take a piece off up there. We'll cover the rest break even if it doesn't go up. Put it right there. All right, so not a bad little trade. We made us some money. We're dipping down to 18s. Yeah, so ADP is on schedule there. They're supposed to... SoFi's still moving up on their earnings call here. Wait, do we have the trade balance data next week? Oh, we got the Case-Shiller house price index at 9. We'll see what that looks like. Forgot about that. Oh, looking like it's about to run. Already 10 million in volume. Yeah, SoFi. Good. My portfolio is really green. I mean, we got lucky with some of these earnings. We're in SoFi, we're in PayPal. You know, we're in Target, which ran big yesterday. So like this earnings season has helped me out a lot. We'll see what we get, but yeah, this earnings season has been good. Sorry, live chat wasn't on. A 7-year-old sees me checking my trading apps and asks if I'm playing my money game. My son's kind of interested in it. I don't know. He's getting to that age where he's going to start getting interested in money a little bit more. So, all right, guys, we got 2 minutes. So 8:30. We'll see if 8:30 makes any move in here. I don't really see any data though coming out. We got Schiller later. We got SoFi and other big earnings this morning. Kind of light. There's SoFi pulling back. Are you using something else? What do you mean something else for this week's earnings? Yeah, so I see the Trump Media and Technology DJT to enter prediction market business. So I did see that news come out about predictions. DJT is up to 18. A little bit too political of a stock for me. There's too much, you know, if you look at the swings this thing has made, kind of wild. Yeah, PayPal had earnings early this morning. SoFi had earnings early this morning. I don't think we have any 8:30 report today. Not from my understanding, I think. But I might buy this dip again. Start small here. Maybe add a little bit on the pullback. There we go. There we go. Took some of it off up here. Slowly took a little bit more off. Could ride the rest up. Covering. Nice. We just got a nice little bounce back so fast. I'm going to take that off here. Just lock it in. Honestly, dip buys have been working lately for some reason. There's 8:30. Yeah, it's just not really my style is to trade these, man. I know it's like what the young people do and they trade. Not really my style. SoFi is starting to pop back up again. I think we have to watch Nvidia though. I think a lot of this move, Nvidia is very close to all-time highs. All-time high on Nvidia is right here. All-time high on Nvidia is literally right here, and Nvidia's here, so we're pretty close to it. Pretty close. All-time high is right here. I'm not that old. I'm not trying to gamble on meme stocks, bro. Listen, I think most people would objectively agree that's like a young person's thing, like teenager slash maybe early 20s. Like, listen, y'all can gamble on meme stocks. Do your thing. I'm not mad at you for it. And again, in some ways, I'll partake if it looks good enough. But outside of that, I'm just trying to make easier money than that. That seems stressful to me. Basically, get off my lawn. Okay, that's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is get off my lawn. Yeah. I used to walk 5 miles to school in the snow. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. All right, NASDAQ back up there. Maybe I should have held that long. Yeah, Tesla's interesting. Tesla's still reacting to their earnings. Almost 500s. Getting close. I know. I might be young. I'm not young enough to gamble on meme stocks, though. Yeah, get off my lawn. It's water too much. Probably turn into a mud pit. All right. Yeah, so the news is that Truth Social is supposed to become the world's first social media platform offering prediction markets via exclusive partnership with Crypto.com. Also, the U.S.'s Roland says Japan is going to commit to buy $8 billion in soybeans and other goods. Blackstone launches senior notes offering. United Health is going to provide 2026 guidance in January. Another dip in NASDAQ here. UPS pulling back. Here's Tesla. And Apple been testing all-time highs, if I remember correctly, too. 70s. Yeah, looking at our poll, I'm going to do another poll here. We asked, does the market break all-time highs? It already did. So it already fulfilled the question on the poll. Here's another dip. I want to buy this dip too. I think I can. I'm going to try buying here. Maybe add a little bit more on the way down. Looking for it to hold at that previous closing price at 26,003. Dips have been easy to buy, really. Pick a piece. Maybe I could add a little bit more. I love you. All right, I'm gonna take a piece off up here too. We got the bounce already. There we go. Check it out right there. Good. I had to ride the bus, bro. The bus was brutal. You always had like mean kids on the bus that were just weird, you know. Hindsight, a lot of them, the mean kids never did that well in life when you look back on them. All right, we got the Case-Shiller house price index at 9 a.m. I'm going to cover that. Any big puts on earnings? I'm ready for a pullback. How big of a pullback do you want, though? Like, I've been like scalping some of these little small moves in markets here. Like these small moves. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we got the Case-Shiller house price index at 9 a.m. We'll see what that looks like. See if we push up. Oh, did I do another poll yet? I don't think I did, right? Oh, I thought I ended this poll. Hold on, let me end it. Yeah, I never really got bullied like that. It was kind of, you know, I had friends that were mean, and then I had friends that were good. The point is, I remember riding the bus with the older kids. I'm gonna do Are You Bullish or Bearish for today's opening bell. Alright, vote on the poll. Let me know what you guys think. 690, you talk about on the SPY, I'm assuming here. Yeah, I mean, we can break 690. That's possible. Close enough to it. Again, watch this 26,003 level right here. This is the previous close. So it's the level at which it goes from red to green and green to red on the day. Yeah, so again, ADP did do their prelim sector report in the private sector. They said the private sector added an average of only 14,250 jobs per week. It's a weak number, confirms labor market slowing dramatically before the shutdown's full effects were felt. So the BLS does have a major change. They said because the official government jobs report is suspended, ADP has decided to start releasing a new prelim report every Tuesday morning. It'll give the Fed Reserve and markets a much more frequent real-time look at the health of labor market during the data blackout. So this confirms the new weekly report is not going to replace their more comprehensive monthly report. But at the very least, we're going to get essentially like a jobs report every week from ADP, which is very good. Very good. Good. They need to release something. You know, at the very least, we're going to get a jobs report once a week. Tuesdays. See what time the report's going to average. Pullback not going to happen. Those that aren't in will continue to miss out. This is not financial advice. Definitely not financial advice. Top 3 least financial advice looking statements ever. All right, looking at our poll, we asked people 64% are bullish, 36% are bearish. Okay, so the new prelim weekly estimates are going to come out at 8:15 Eastern time every Tuesday. 8:15 Eastern time every Tuesday. The official monthly report comes out next week on the 5th. So let me see. What time does it come out next week? Next week it comes out on Wednesday, November 5th. But then we should also get the weekly one Tuesday, November 4th. So at the very least, we're going to get ADP data Wednesday, 8:30 next week, which is good. It's something. Bring the data back. Finish the shutdown. At this point in time, like, and I'm not very political, but I would welcome the right to do the nuclear option and just change the rules to simple majority and bring back the government. Again, for selfish reasons. For selfish reasons. A little bit more boring in markets without economic data. ADP's kind of filling that hole a little bit with the ADP report. Now that at least they're doing it weekly now. But we're still missing out on all the cool stuff. Like PCE was supposed to come out Friday. Next week, we were supposed to get the labor report. We're not getting. We're supposed to get GDP next week. All right, look, we're back up to 26,018s. Not sure if you follow Checkpoint Software, but just crushed earnings. Yeah, UPS CEO announced the company used AI to handle a 10-fold surge in customs clearance demand without adding costs. We had the New York Fed repo op demand at 7.7 billion. U.S. Agricultural Secretary Rowland says Japan's commitment to $8 billion in U.S. corn, soybeans, rice, ethanol, and other agricultural goods is a game changer. Well, I see that going on right now. Sometimes you got to correct AI. Yeah, so all GDP releases are delayed, including the advance estimate, which is supposed to come out on Thursday, October 30th. We do have the Case-Shiller House Price Index at 9 o'clock, so we'll see what that looks like. But all right, so we've gotten into multiple green trades. We're green in 3 different accounts today. So we've got cushions heading into the opening bell. I think I've got a combine account trade too. I don't even think I can activate any more funded accounts. I think got enough already. We'll try. So let's go ahead and buy this dip. Oh no, that was stupid of me. Dude, good thing I got out, bro. I just bought 10 contracts. Now we'll buy this dip. For the fences here. We're so close to the previous closing price. I don't think the NASDAQ wants to break under it. So don't copy me in this one. This is a challenge account. It's not a normal funded account. We'll buy here and let it sit and see if we bounce. Again, the previous closing price is right here. This is what I'm hoping to hold. Man, good thing I cut that trade, dude. I ended up losing like $15 or $20. You're still green on all 3 funded accounts that we've traded today, but man, that'd have been a bad move. AI bubble. Are we in an AI bubble, chat? Let me know in chat right now. Do you guys think we're in an AI bubble right now? I mean, we could be in a bubble, but the bubble might not burst for another 3 years, just to put this into perspective, right? Like, again, in the 90s, we had the irrational exuberance speech by Greenspan, and the bubble didn't burst until 2000. It was like 1997 Greenspan gave that speech about irrational exuberance, and then we didn't burst for 3 years afterwards. And so even if you think we're in a bubble, it doesn't mean we are. And it does, even if we are in one, it doesn't mean it's going to burst anytime soon. We might run for 3 more years or whatever happens there. All right, we're green here, not super green though. I want 26,000 free to hold. I'd love for us to move up, but okay, that's better. Take a little bit off up here if I can get out. The fill. All right. There we go. Gold's still falling down. Look at gold here on the bottom right chart. We're at 39,028 right now. Common is being held up by AI spinning. AI will only get better and better the upcoming years. We run for the upcoming 4 years. We are in a round tripping bubble. Not yet is what I say. I think AI is still going up. We are not. Yeah, but so what? Yes, no. We're pretty polarized here. A lot of people have differing opinions on it. A lot of people say, yeah, we are in a bubble. Others say we're not. All right, we've already taken profit on this. I just want to see if this holds as a bottom. Looks flaggy, but and we're up nicely already. We've taken enough profit. Might add more back to it. Yep. I get a chance. Again, 26,003 is my bounce level that I'm looking at. I could add some back here. Again, the previous close, guys, just to show you why I'm buying it. I'm not telling you to buy it, not an investment professional. This is the previous closing price right here. And so I think there's an incentive to keep it over that level, to keep the market green today, technically. More of an incentive, not a big incentive, but it's enough psychologically to maybe get a bounce level, and that's what we took profit into, was the bounce. But if we dip down to that exact level, I'll add big size and just take a swing. Again, this is a challenge account. We already green on all 3 funded accounts we've traded, so no matter what happens in this one, we'll be okay. Right, we do have the Case-Shiller house price index dropping at 9 o'clock. Yeah, but I think AI is the future. I think to a certain extent the economy is going to depend on AI moving forward. I think that's just the obvious next step here. I think that's what makes sense. I think that's the most logical step. I almost want us to pull back here just so I can take more risk. We also have 26,000 even, this level here, which is a big psychological level as well. We could add on a dip and just play with it. There we go. There's the dip. We're gonna add. There we go. We bounced right there, right at the level we talked about. Look at that 26,000 bounce. Doesn't mean it's gonna hold. I hope it continues up though. Bounce still same level. Not enough for me to take profit yet though. I want to see a little bit larger bounce. Better. Gold's still fading down. 39.24. Look at gold. Gold, man. It was at what? 4,400 for gold. It's now at 3,900. Gold has dipped. What is that? 20%? Gold has dipped about $500 down from 1,500. Actually, no, it's not. Like 10. But I'll wait to add a little bit more into this last piece here, only because we have a cushion. Alright, so NASDAQ, if it dips under this level, it's technically red on the day. Alright, so U.S. fires top health official Stephen Hatfield, who opposed widely used. Oh. Bitcoin back up to 115s. Still rebounding a little bit this morning. Hey, what's up, Tiny? What the last 25 years of computing innovation has been leading to? Yeah, I mean, I think people fear AI, and I get it. I would fear it too. I think everybody should fear it a little bit. I think a certain amount of fear is healthy in terms of AI. We need to fear it if we're going to make the necessary precautions to protect people. And I think this is just obviously true, right? I don't think we can let AI grow to a point where it eliminates the need for work and people working. I think that's a bad thing, obviously. And I think, you know, we need to have a certain degree of fear in terms of AI, obviously. Doesn't mean we can't let it grow though, you know, and so there's a sweet spot there that I think we should try to find with AI. But regardless of any of that, I think it's going to replace some jobs for sure. I think other jobs are going to be fine, and jobs are going to get more technical as a result of it, of course, because AI makes everything easier. And so what does that mean? That means to get paid for work, you're going to have to do more technical things. Now, some people are going to be opposed to that, of course. I understand. But that's life. That's evolution of technology, and that's how it goes. Got in what, 11.21? Gold? Yeah, we bounced at 26,000 though. I just gotta be careful now. Nasdaq's right at the previous close. For green, let's see if we can pop up enough for me to take some profit on this thing. Almost up there. Okay, that's good enough. I'll take a little bit off. A little bit more off up there. Now I could add double the size if we dip down to 26,000. Yeah, I think we should obviously fear it a little bit. I think that's normal to fear it. I think we also have to make sure to program defense, make sure not to program defense mechanisms into the AI. I think we need to be very, very clear with that, because that's the biggest risk, I think, right now. You know, you don't want AI to do a bunch of crazy stuff to protect itself, right? No defense mechanisms. You need to make it very clear. And here's the second dip to 26,000. Again, we'll add double the size here if we get down there. We're not quite there yet, though. Yeah, I don't think the Nasdaq wants to sit under 26,000 right now. It could, though. I mean, you never know. Still bouncing at 26 and 3. And I hope you guys see, like, if you could identify, look, there we go. That's a big, nice little pop. If you could identify milestone levels, you get a little bit of edge. It's not a perfect amount of edge. I'll take a little bit more off right here. Before we bounced here, we talked about 26,003. There we go. Start to scale out of this. Really nice trade. I'm gonna add some of this and then maybe hold the rest break even. See if we rip up a little bit more. I'm gonna just cut it right there. We're up 200 and something. Again, 26,003 held. 26,000 is right underneath this too here. This 26,000, big psychological whole dollar number. Question: as a dad, how do you advise your son to dodge AI and obsolete stuff? Well, to be honest, you got to let your kids use technology early on. That's obviously important. They got to understand it. If you let them use technology early on and understand, with some restrictions, of course, you can't just let them go crazy with technology. But if you let them use tech early on, and you do it the right way, they'll know the best paths to get involved with better than you do after a certain point. And so, you know, I think that's really the key to it, is let them understand it early so that they can make that decision. Not necessarily, even if you know the right move, it doesn't mean the kids are going to follow you and do what you want to do anyway. But yeah. Yeah, I like micro Nasdaq because I can scale in and out. The fees are negligible. Fees are not much. Yeah, gold basically at 3,900s right now. All right, we got Case-Shiller data showing up this morning. I think it comes out. I'll make sure it does. AI is too expensive with equipment, but also power usage. No way to continue like this without a crumble. Reminds me back of the 2000 bubble. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah, so the Case-Shiller data is coming out at 9 o'clock. Again, I don't know how much it's going to really move things. We'll see. Yeah, we got some big earnings this week. I'm watching that at least. Ooh. All right. Case-Shiller data in about a minute here. It's something. It's something. It's not affected by the government data. I don't think it's going to move markets really, but watching it like it will. We also have CB consumer confidence data today. We got new home sales. All right, here's the Case-Shiller data. Drops in 20 seconds. It's expected at 1.4% year over year. Last time was 1%. It's just house prices. But we're up to 26,015. So drops right now, roughly. Gold's selling off because the Nasdaq's breaking all-time highs. All right, so the Case-Shiller data just showed up. It showed up at 1.6%, a little bit stronger than expected. 1.6 versus 1.4% expected. We also have CB consumer confidence, and it says new home sales at 10. I don't think new home sales report's coming out. I think that's a government report. But 1.6% year over year for the Case-Shiller versus 1.4% expected. Not really market moving, but you know, it's something. Again, well, ADP announced earlier today that prelim results showed up at about 14,000 for their private jobs. Again, ADP, got the P here. ADP preliminary U.S. estimates of an average increase of 14,250 jobs. They're now going to be releasing this once a week. Once a week, they're coming out with the ADP report. It's kind of replacing jobless claims unemployment. That's supposed to come out every Thursday. Again, here's the Case-Shiller. It showed up at 0.2% month over month, 1.6% year over year. I'll put this data up on screen. But yeah, the ADP report is now going to be coming out weekly. My guess is to kind of replace what we're not getting in the jobless claims report, what we're not getting in the non-farm payroll report, what we're not getting in any of that stuff. I think the ADP report's now coming out once a week. And then next week, we have it come out on Tuesday for its weekly report. And then we have the big monthly payroll report on Wednesday. So next week, look at the NASDAQ fly up here, 26,025 right now. Look at this pop in the NASDAQ here. Wow. Big pop in the NQ. I don't see any reason for this outside of the house price index, but I don't think this is what's doing it. Again, look at that big surge in the NASDAQ here. Big buy shorts, or big buy coming in. 8, maybe the 9 a.m. scrum. It is past 9 a.m. now. Buys ripping up. Let's watch NVIDIA. Not NVIDIA. Big retracement back down to Apple's falling. This is Microsoft. Wow, look at Microsoft, guys. Microsoft the last 3 minutes has been on a tear. I don't know what this is. Let's see. All right. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't even realize this music was playing. It's not supposed to be words. It's supposed to be freaking instrumentals. So, sorry, guys. Anybody know why Microsoft is ripping up right now? Anybody know? Microsoft holds an investment in OpenAI Group PBC valued at $135 billion. So again, Microsoft holds an investment in OpenAI valued at $135 billion is the news. And look at Microsoft rip up here. Nasdaq's breaking all-time highs. Microsoft's up to 550s right now, which 555 is the all-time high. So Microsoft pushing towards all-time highs on this news. Yeah, I didn't even hear what the words were in the music. I had my headphones down. Again, look at Microsoft, guys. 555. Microsoft came out, said they're owning about 135 billion worth of OpenAI. 135 billion. Nasdaq's flying up. Microsoft just broke all-time highs. Nasdaq just broke all-time highs. Massive Microsoft OpenAI, investment position. $135 billion. That's the news. Again, signed a new pact with OpenAI. Holds an investment in OpenAI Group PBC valued at 135 billion. Again, Microsoft supports OpenAI board moving forward with formation of a public benefit corporation and recapitalization. OpenAI is going public. Nasdaq hits 26,051s. 26,051 new all-time highs. Microsoft is at all-time highs right now. Gold still sitting there. Take a look at Nvidia, see if Nvidia is benefiting from this. I would assume Nvidia would benefit more. I heard it jingle. Where'd it go? Got so much tech around me. I don't know where my that. Oh, there it is. Yeah, man, what a big move here. Should have held that long, man. Again, should have held that long. Again, Microsoft supports OpenAI board moving forward with formation of a public company recapitalization. Amazon, for some reason, is dumping down here. I don't know why. Look at Amazon. Again, OpenAI contracted to buy incremental 250 billion of Azure services, retains IP rights. Microsoft retains IP rights, Azure API exclusivity until AGI. Bro, why did they send me this, bro? I swear, dude. Either they're calling me old right here. I've got the top 3 thickest hair ever right now. OpenAI can now jointly develop some projects with third parties. OpenAI contracted to buy an incremental 250 billion of Azure. Microsoft holds an investment in OpenAI valued at 135 billion. They get a new pact with OpenAI. Bank of America. All right, so Bank of America announces bearish forecast of US dollar $3,000 an ounce for gold in quarter 4 of this year, but sees upside in next year unless macro backdrop changes. We also have Supermicro, Intel, and Micron report record-breaking results for the Stack M3 quant trading benchmark. Nasdaq just broke highs again, got up to 26,054. Again, Microsoft at all-time highs right now. If Microsoft can sustain these gains into the opening bell, it will break all-time highs at the open. So. Anything moving sympathy with this? Like, there's Microsoft ripping up, Intel down, Nvidia's still up though. Google down, AMD down, Amazon down, Netflix still down from its earnings report. Tesla down a little bit. And Microsoft leading the way this morning. Pull it back a little bit though. Let's watch 550, maybe see if 550 holds. Yeah, that was a wild candle. Yeah, my wife put out this request for is it Bosley hair stuff one time? Because there was like 10 years ago, I was worried that I was losing my hair. In hindsight, I haven't taken any balding medicines or anything, and I still got a full head of hair. So apparently, I wasn't losing my hair. But bro, I swear, she put in one information request. They have spammed my inbox, email, home mail, snail mail, all of it for a decade now. Never do it. Never do it. NASDAQ going up to 26,050 here. Yeah, a lot of stuff's reacting negatively, I guess, on competition. Address the fake hair allegations. Bro, I've had the same hair since I was freaking young. Top 3 fakest hair ever, though, I guess. You know. NASDAQ pushing up right now. Dude, I trade jiu-jitsu pretty regularly. If I had fake hair, somebody would have figured it out already, you know. Plus, I feel like if I would have had, look at the NASDAQ break all-time highs again. If I would have had fake hair, I wouldn't make it look like it does right now. I gotta shave though. Look at this beard I'm getting. I'm stuck at home. My legs hurt, and so I can't, you know, can't do much. I'm just going Grizzly Adams with the beard, I guess. Amazon's dipping down. I don't know why it's weak, but look at Amazon. It's ahead of their earnings report. Boomer hair? Oh, that hurts, man. That hurts. Hurts right here. I don't know if this is boomer hair. It's just long. Curly hair. Can't do anything with it. I can wear a hat. Don't judge my hair. Microsoft pulling back under 550s right now. Let's see if it rebounds. Again, watch the previous closing price. It's very simple. Like, look at Amazon. Where does Amazon bounce? Right at the previous close. It's not going to happen every time. Nothing's 100% in markets, but it gives you a good little level to watch on a short-term perspective, where we might potentially bounce. NASDAQ still testing these highs up here. Look at this. Yeah, if y'all keep talking about my hair, I'm gonna start going like this. You know? I'll look like a Christian rapper trying to look edgy. You know? Alright guys, Microsoft's pulling back to 549s. Under 550. NASDAQ still breaking all-time highs. Bottom 3 hair. Embrace the baldness. I feel like I would if I was going bald. I'd probably just accept it at this point. Those balding meds, they got too many side effects, as well as like hair transplants just looking true. Like, I don't want to get any of that stuff. Maybe I'd grow a goatee and be like Stone Cold Austin. Amazon coming up at 228. NASDAQ up to 2657. I love 90s alternative music. I listen to a mix of all that stuff though. I was listening to I went to an Offspring concert not that long ago. It was good. All right, NASDAQ new all-time high is 26,062. I don't know. My hairline's pretty solid here. Like, look, for my mid-30s, I think my hairline's pretty good. It's not really pushing back, you know. Top 3 hairlines ever right now. Don't judge me. No. Yeah, I don't really have any place to buy the NASDAQ right now. It's too high. Way low, dude. I'm good, man. I'm good on that. 1994? You must be older than me. 1994, I was just a young pup. Yeah, 1994, I was an offspring. Let's see if 2650 holds here. Allison realized gains. I love it. Great job, MJ. Great job. Oh, I was definitely born before 2000. I wish I was 25. Which I'm not. Trust me, I've got a 16-year-old daughter. She tells me how old I am. Trust me. I didn't graduate before 2000. But I was definitely born in 2000. I don't have a 911 turbo. I wish I did have a 911 turbo. Those are cool. Really, I've got something that could probably beat a 911 turbo realistically, and no, she can't drive it. She drives the truck, is what she drives. Because I remember being 16. 16-year-old can't drive, doesn't matter how much they think they can. You really have to walk 5 miles to school. Realistically, I would bike ride to school. Back when you could ride bikes to school. Alright guys, yeah, NASDAQ is ripped up over all-time highs and now it's just consolidating. Microsoft sitting at 500s, or 550. Yeah, that's about right, Pond. It was a different time though, Sky Girl. Different time. Bro, my parents would send me to school and I remember my front tire in my Huffy bike was like really bent. And they just didn't buy me another bike. They were just kind of like, look, dude, that's your bike. And I would be going to school and my front tire would be like just speed wobbling terribly. Just, you know, I'm lucky the whole front tire didn't just fly off of it in hindsight. The good old days, you know. NASDAQ coming back down. Again, I'm watching 26,050 just because it's a level, but this pullback's not really enough for me to buy it here. I gotta wait. I like larger pullbacks to buy into, and I've made enough money on every account that I have that I'm not really interested in buying this little small pullback. I need a larger pullback. We got 13 minutes into the opening bell. We'll see what we get. Payback for the Huffy is not giving your parents trading advice. I mean, I gave my mom, I mean, I don't know what trading advice is. Not an investment professional, not financial advice. But my mom tried to buy Dogecoin at 75 cents 3 years ago, and I told her no, not to do it. And then she didn't do it, and then it corrected all the way back down to 20 cents or wherever it's at now. Down like very big percentages from where she wanted to buy it. And I told her the rule of this is that if you hear about it outside the stock market, it's too freaking late. Rule still applies today. Yeah. The mongooses were the good bikes. right? Everybody wanted a mongoose in the 90s. I had a kid in my neighborhood who had one, and he was just flexing with that mongoose constantly. I had a Huffy with a bent front tire. I wasn't as cool as him in terms of like bikes, but that's okay. I'll buy myself a mongoose right now. Are mongooses still the good bikes? I don't know. And then I heard like Schwinn was good. I don't even really know. Nasdaq's still dipping down here. Yeah, Doge was supposed to go to the moon. Also, Shiba Inu and all that other stuff was supposed to run big. It never ended up doing it. Dogecoin has had some pushes up. I'm in Dogecoin right now, believe it or not, but I bought it on the big pullback it made, not close to all-time highs. Yeah, maybe Haro was the bike. I don't remember. I didn't have any of that. I had Walmart's Puffy bikes. I never got the good ones. Is Pepe running? Man, Pepe was wild though. Pepe had some gains. Where's Pepe at now? Pepe's still down on the year though. All right, guys. Again, close to all-time highs again. I told you guys earlier this morning, some of my easiest trades this morning were right under 26,000. Like, we got really close to this. And I've talked about it a bunch before. When we get really close to a milestone level, I like to attack the range leading up to the level itself. In hindsight, I should have held, and I did buy this dip as well, if it makes me feel a little bit better. I didn't quite catch this. No, it was this dip. Sorry. I didn't catch the big Microsoft rip, but that's all right. OpenAI says OpenAI Foundation will initially focus on a $25 billion commitment across health and curing diseases and technical AI resilience. In a blog post, it says hundreds of air traffic controllers in the U.S. have taken secondary jobs as the shutdown continues. The mongoose kid is bald now and eating Beyond Burgers, so you got the last laugh. I guess. What he's done. Thoughts on the shutdown? I hope it ends fast. Like, usually I get thousands of people here for my economic data releases, and we don't have economic data releases. The government's shut down. It's almost a month into the shutdown. I'm ready for it to end for selfish reasons, although I'm not the most optimistic. I think there's a couple ways it could end. If we're looking at both sides, obviously there's a couple ways it could end. The left could find 5 more people to vote against the shutdown and for the CR. I think it's 5 or 7 more people they need on the left to end the shutdown. Or the right could do the nuclear option, which would be the first time in history they would use it for something like this, which could happen. You know, the nuclear option is essentially when they change the rule set so a simple majority needed instead of what it is now, and you know, vote to end the shutdown with a simple majority. I think it would be the first time in history that's happened. But I hope either one of them happens for selfish reasons. You know, in good news this morning, ADP is going to be releasing a weekly jobs report every Tuesday now. They came out with their first one this morning and showed an average increase of only 14,250 jobs in a 4-week period, ending October 11th. So that's not good, obviously. And Yeah, that ain't good. That's where we're at now with all this stuff. And yeah. So if John Thune could use a complex procedural maneuver to set a new precedent, the new precedent would lower the 60-vote threshold for funding bills to a 51-vote simple majority. If that happens, then the right could pass the clean CR with their own votes immediately ending the shutdown. I think they would get some heat for this if they did it, though. I think they would get some heat if they did it. Although, let them do it. Honestly, at this point in time, I'm ready for the shutdown to end. Again, for selfish reasons, I'm not getting into the politics of either side. I think it's kind of both sides' fault right now. But I'm ready for the shutdown to end. Selfish reasons. I tried to tell people, yeah, we got CB Consumer Confidence at 10 o'clock today. We do have CB Consumer Confidence. That's going on. We do have CB Consumer. All right, look at Amazon push back up. Microsoft is another one we're watching. Gold under 4,000, almost to 3,900. Nasdaq's breaking all-time highs. We got 5 minutes into the opening bell. Again, OpenAI said recapitalization also grants the foundation additional ownership as OpenAI's for-profit reaches a valuation milestone. They said they were initially focused on $25 billion commitment across health and curing diseases. I'm curious what we're going to get at the opening bell now, though. We've had a lot of upward movement leading into the open. On cutting 14,000 jobs. Yeah, I saw Amazon's cutting some jobs and replacing them with AI robots. Essentially the news. Again, they're cutting jobs, replacing them with AI robotics. I think that's the natural next step if you're Amazon. You know, that'll improve their margins by a drastic amount. And so, I mean, I can't really knock them for... Do I think people are going to lose jobs? Yeah, but I think people complain about, you know, how hard it is to work there anyway. So... Defo ready for it to end. Yeah, it's getting boring without economic data. We got CB Consumer Confidence today at 10. I'll cover that. That's something. Yeah, I think replacing people with robots is obviously the step for business. I think the jobs we're gonna see a lot of jobs getting replaced by AI in this way, especially in terms of like warehouse jobs, manufacturing, you know. I think we're going to see a lot of that, obviously. I think if I'm a business and AI's here and I'm a multi-billion-dollar business, you know, I'm going to look for ways to save margins, and I think everybody's going to. So, again, I think jobs are going to start getting much more technical. And I think that's the natural... I think if you look at jobs over the past 200 years, that's what's happened to them. Jobs have gotten more technical, and that's the natural evolution of it. Yeah, AI is definitely replacing some software engineers. From somebody like, look, I'm a programmer myself. Like, I know React Native, JavaScript. You know, React is a framework for JavaScript. But I know React Native, vanilla JavaScript, Python, TypeScript, ThinkScript, other languages. Mostly front-end stuff. And front-end stuff's definitely getting replaced by AI. You know, back-end stuff's a little bit more resilient to it. But, software engineers, it's definitely getting more technical, you know. But at the same time, like, just to understand both sides of it, it's also much easier to learn how to program now. Like, when I learned how to program, bro, when I ran into an error, I would have to research, sometimes for hours or longer, just to figure out what I was doing wrong when I was teaching myself how to program. right? At this point in time, I can take a picture of it, send it to AI, and be like, "Yo, AI, why does this error keep happening?" And AI will spit that answer out in about 5 seconds. And so, pros and cons: easier to learn, less jobs available. Back overflow, yeah, for sure, 100%. All right. Anyways, Nasdaq pushing up. We're at 26,055. Here's the opening bell. Let's see what we get. It's actually the morning for Keith. You must be overseas, brother. All right, guys. 10 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button. Put it in 2x speed. You'll catch up to the stream. Here's the bell. We're very green on the day. Let's see if we can hold it into the market open. All right, there's the bell. Okay, I got you. Nasdaq over all-time highs at the opening bell. 26,072. 26,080. We got a big pop at the open. I'm gonna look at Nvidia here. Microsoft bouncing at 550. I think Microsoft effectively, let me see, all-time highs for Microsoft. I think it's at 555, so I don't think we're technically there yet. Yeah, 555.45. All right, so Microsoft going for all-time highs. I still am thinking about buying this just because Microsoft's very close to all-time highs here. But I'll do it on my challenge account, where we're already up big. It doesn't matter either way. I think Microsoft's going to go for all-time highs, though. It's close enough. We can take some risk and play with this. I don't usually trade the open, but it's a challenge account. There we go. Take some off here. Go. Fill it out. Yeah, we're up like, ooh. Love to see it. We cut it right there. We're up like 700 on that account. Nice. Nvidia, guys, pop it back up. Nvidia's about to break all-time highs as well here. Nvidia all-time highs, I think 195.50, 195.62. Nvidia all-time highs is at 194.50, so it's about $1 away. All-time highs for Nvidia. I think if we get Nvidia and Microsoft running in sympathy in unison with each other, I think could keep going up. But man, Nasdaq's flying over all-time highs this morning, guys. Are we sure this is not a bubble? No, we're not sure. Nobody's sure this isn't a bubble right now, really. Everybody can make predictions, make guesses, make bets, but nobody's sure this isn't a bubble. Also, guys, check out Top Step if you haven't already. There's no PDT in futures. You can day trade the S&P, Nasdaq, Dow, Russell Gold. These are Top Step funded accounts that I've been day trading on all morning. Beautiful way to learn. Get you around the PDT rule. If you pass it, you get a 50K funded account, 90% split. If you fail, you lose 50 bucks for the base one. It's not the end of the world. It's the best of both worlds. Similar split to funding your own account, much less risk. They pay out millions, fund thousands, super reliable payouts. There's the link if you want to check it out. Great way to help support the channel. They're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased. I get paid by them. But if you want to check it out, I'll pin it to the top of the page. We got CB Consumer Confidence today. That's something. But Nvidia up to 195s. Yeah, I mean, we got some room. You know, we do have some room. I mean, we can keep going up. There's the Nasdaq breaking all-time highs again. Nvidia at 195s. Here's the all-time high on Nvidia right here. If you look at it, this big green line right here, this is the all-time high on Nvidia. We're very close, very close. Looks like we're gonna at least tap it. I'm gonna buy this. Well, again, a little early for me to trade, but it's okay. Just kind of add to this dips. Got a big enough cushions where we can take the risk. Go. There we go. Video up there right at all-time highs. That's the edge I'm trying to play. I need a pop. There we go. That's a pop. Start unloading this again. Video is very close to all-time highs here, though. Add to this. Add to this. All right, that's all we're gonna add. Again, I'll risk it for the stream just to play with it. Let's see if we retrace back up. I'm gonna undo some of this here just at the top so I can add back if I need to, based off of how quickly it popped. Nvidia's still right there. Very close to all-time highs. I'm gonna add down here. If Nvidia breaks all-time highs and this rips up. It's risky for sure, but it's a combine account, so again, I don't usually trade this close to the opening bell. And we got a cushion. Do not copy me in this account. Definitely not a trading I'm doing here, obviously, if you look at the size. Nvidia got so close. Microsoft did break down, though. I want to see if it starts to run back up. We got bought. It's getting bought up. We're almost green. We get another pop. Problem is Microsoft's fading down. That's what's giving it back. Microsoft's coming all the way back down to 544s. What a drop in Microsoft. Look at this drop. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna lose this this combine account. Yeah, there you go. It's all right. We took the risk for it. Nvidia did break all-time highs, but the market was following Microsoft. And just to clarify, that's our challenge account. We had a free reset in it, so we played with it this morning. I try to rush those things too much, but we've already got too many funded accounts. We can't even activate anymore. Oh, yeah, that was definitely gambling. But again, it was a challenge account. It wasn't. I'm green on 3 out of all 3 funded accounts I've traded on today. So we risked it for the stream. I was hoping Microsoft wouldn't break down. It would, you know, here's the thing, right? Most people consider all-time highs only during market hours. All-time highs for Microsoft during market hours are right here. And so I think it was a good enough risk to see if we could potentially move up there in Microsoft and break all-time highs. And we just did. We just faded at the open, which is all right. Can't win everything. All right, we'll switch to an actual funded account. You'll notice my trades are going to be a lot less crazy. Actual funded accounts. The problem is Microsoft's still breaking down. I'll try one candle or one. Try one dip buy right here. Gonna pop up. Maybe I'll add to it if we get good range. There we go. Oh, if we get into the green, I'll add to it. I'm not gonna add to it. Getting deeper into the green. That's better. Something. I'll give it a second. There we go. We cut it right there. Just lock that in. Small, but we're scalping this move. Put up some larger profit in this account. Microsoft is up because it announced another deal with OpenAI, and OpenAI is going to try to go public, I think is what it is. Yeah, we could chop sideways, but we're also breaking all-time highs. UNH gave a lot of this back at the open. UNH is all the way down to 363 at the opening bell, so it's struggling. Hold. Yeah, we got CB consumer confidence at 10 a.m. See if that moves anything. We do have CB consumer confidence at 10 o'clock. You guys red or green so far today? I did a poll. Are you bullish or bearish for today's opening bell? 71% said bullish, 29% said bearish. All right, we're pushing up. And Bitcoin is good up this morning. If you look at it, gold on the bottom right. Here's Bitcoin futures. Great on the day though. Now technically for Bitcoin, you can see the previous closing price in Bitcoin's right here. Red again. Oh, sorry to hear, Tiny. Yeah, Tesla's close to 500. Apple hits 4 trillion in market cap for the first time ever, apparently. And Microsoft now holds a 27% stake in OpenAI. 27%. And watch Microsoft right now. I think Microsoft's tied to OpenAI's strength or weakness, AI, and so Microsoft went up big on the news, dipped down big, and now we're kind of sitting at these levels. All right, Nasdaq's getting close to all-time high levels again here. We do have CB consumer confidence data today. So yeah, I didn't even look. I heard the notification and immediately knew what you were sending it for. So, I appreciate it. Tesla. Yeah, Apple's getting close to highs here. If you look at Apple, Apple's helping drag the market up here. Nvidia's kind of dipping though. If you look at Apple, almost to 270s, which I'm pretty sure are all-time highs for it as well. Yeah. Apple all-time high just under 270 at 287. Hit it about 13 minutes ago. I think things crazy. Market's flying. We could be overvalued. We could be in a bubble. We could also keep running for years. So, I think it's hard to tell. think we're close to highs here, so I kind of want to buy it, but I also have to be. I don't know. Nvidia looks weak. Microsoft looks a little sketchy too. Bitcoin's still ripping up though. We bought a little bit here for green on. I'd like to see a little bit more green. We do have CB consumer confidence at 10 o'clock today, remember. Half off there. Try to buy this, see if we get bought up here. Green, there we go, back to green. Put off right there. They hold. We're still green on 4 of the funded accounts we've traded on. But we get out here, it looks like we might correct a little bit. Apple's coming down. Yeah, there's the correction. Nvidia's still looking weak. We've already had earnings. We had United Health, PayPal, SoFi. Look at Bitcoin rip up. Bitcoin up to 115. But I'll try to buy this. Add in 3 or 4. Go. Yeah, we're green on all 4 of these funded accounts too. We got CB consumer confidence at 10. We'll see what it looks like. AMD. Yeah, AMD's right at the previous close, so I want to see if AMD bounces right. Might not. It's the day before FOMC, so we might have choppiness. Ouch, dude. Ugh. Weird, I just get random knee pain. Good thing I didn't buy. I might buy down here. Big drop. At 26 levels a previous high. I might buy that if we get down here. We're out. Scalping markets right now. Copy. Trying to catch some squeeze levels here, which we've been very good with this morning. We got CB consumer confidence at 10 a.m. in about 10 minutes. That's something. I don't know how big it is, but it's... All right, we're back up to 26,060 here. Very choppy market. Again, we got the FOMC decision tomorrow. Markets might be flat. Possible for sure. All right, let's see if we can buy this little micro dip here. Add a little bit into it. Creatively up on the day. Rid of this and then leave this here. To take some of the size off now that we're mostly break even on the rest. In case we don't bounce. Luckily we got a cushion. Get a pop. Again, this is the only, we're slightly red on that account now, but we're green in 3 out of 4. I don't want to risk too much trying to trade the chop, and I might miss out on some. We're mostly green and everything. Nine minutes until CB consumer confidence. Let's see if we chop leading into that. Starting to flush down though. Look at Apple here breaking down, but still stagnant. Where's Netflix at? Netflix reacted negatively from their earnings and it's still weak, but Netflix is ripping up to 1,100 today. Yeah, Netflix has been doing better. Yeah, we're going down to that 26 level. I want to see if we hold at 26. At least around it. We're slow and so like we're not really moving. Get Apple and drag us down. All right. Yeah, we did drag down there. We jumped in, what is it? Jumped in this account. Yeah, it's hard to trade right now. I mean, we got some stuff breaking down, some stuff rebounding. United Health's bouncing back. Apple's now red on the day. Netflix is pretty green. Nvidia is pulling back since the opening bell after getting very close to all-time highs. Microsoft, which is one of the big stories of the day, is kind of it's slow. It's not really moving much. And again, we got CB consumer confidence in 5 minutes. Not really the biggest report, but we'll see. We're green on every funded account we have today. Yeah. This is the green one. We got ourselves back to green on this. And man, this one we're very green. Look at this. Look at this profit graph in this account that we're trading right now. Check it out. Here is the last month of October. 2 losing days, very small. 2 losing days, very small. Not a bad graph. If you look at the, there's a couple graphs I could show you. Here's one of them. Pretty nice looking graph there. Pretty solid looking. There's this one too. Doing good this month. There's 26. I was looking at 26,000 for a bounce area. All right, let's see if CB consumer confidence moves markets, because it usually doesn't. But I think in this context, it's a little bit more important just because we don't have any economic data coming out. So it drops in 4 minutes. We will see what we get, but see if it moves it. 10 o'clock. Look at this rip in the NASDAQ here. Wow. U.S. president to meet with Uzbek president on November 6th as part of the Central Asian nations meeting, according to Reuters. I don't think that's what this... Look at that big green candle here. I don't know what this is. Microsoft and Apple officially become the second and third companies in the world to be worth over $4 trillion. I don't see any news causing this spike. The Nvidia bouncing here. Yeah, I can't figure it out why we're spiking. All right, we do have CB consumer confidence at 10 at 2.5 minutes. Yeah, that was a big spike. They didn't. Could be a sideways chop though. Again, maybe CB consumer confidence will move things in 2 minutes. I don't know. I know CB consumer confidence is coming out here. Bitcoin over 115 again. Got 2 minutes left. I almost want to buy this dip, but I'll wait. All right, we got a minute and a half. Again, CB consumer confidence today is expected at 93.4. 93.4 for October. Last time was 94.2. So they are expecting a little bit of a decrease in consumer confidence. At least we got the FOMC meeting tomorrow. That's something. Yeah, we haven't had any economic data in a minute. The government shut down, unfortunately. So maybe CB consumer confidence will hold more weight right now. I'll put gold up here just to see gold. Yeah, we got 1 minute left. Hit the live button next to the play button. Put it in 2x speed. You'll catch up to the stream. We appreciate it. Hey, congrats, Jay. $25,000 payout. That's great. Again, if you haven't already, check out Top Step. Beautiful way to help support the channel. No PDT rule in futures. You can day trade the S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, Russell, gold, currencies. It's a good way to learn how to day trade when most day traders lose money. Again, Jay just took a $25,000 payout today. Congrats. That's great. Most reliable in the game in terms of payouts. They're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased. And so don't, you want to confirm it all with them. Not an investment professional. Genuinely useful. We got 20 seconds left. 20 seconds left. 15 seconds left. See what we get. Again, CB consumer confidence is not a big report for 10 o'clock, but it might move markets. Here we go. 5 seconds. And here's the report. Should be going live right now. Let's see. Wait to see. Pretty sure it's coming out today. I don't see anything. Hold on. Let me check different sources. Yeah, I don't see it. All right, it was 94.6 versus 93.4. It was actually stronger than expected at 94.6 versus 93.4. Didn't really move markets though. Yeah, it didn't really move markets. Came in higher than expected. All right, so Blackstone and Humane Inc. A $30 billion or a $3 billion data center deal, according to Bloomberg. Gold still elevated today, or elevated since the open. Down on the day, I think. Pretty weak, actually, but starting to move back up towards $4,000. Yeah, Bitcoin's been ripping. Again, check out Top Step if you want to help support the channel. No PDT in futures. Just a good way to learn when most day traders lose money. A little bit of a slow opening bell here, but that's okay. Again, check out Top Step. There's the link. I'm going to get out of here. As soon as I close the stream, it's going to bring you to tomorrow's stream. Again, tomorrow we got the Fed meeting and more that we're going to cover, so just be ready. Again, it should automatically bring you there. Be ready for tomorrow. I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. Have a great day. Again, be safe, guys. Be safe.